Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. And we're about to start. I think we're going to do some Mood Matrix stuff. Well, it could help alleviate some of his anxiety. Yes, Mood Matrix stuff, yes. Whenever she talks about therapy, it's going to be Mood Matrix stuff for sure. Plus, I'm picking up a lot of discord in Sarge's voice, which makes sense. They lost two of their parents now. It's a very, very incredibly tough time. That usually means the patient wants to say something but can't for some reason. And in Sarge's case, I imagine whatever's plaguing him is pretty severe. In that case, I'll leave it to you and your Mood Matrix magic. You got it. Oh, look at her. Look at her. You can do this, Athena. Your Honor, I believe I can be of help here. Time for that therapy session, is it, Miss Sykes? And this music as well. I love that the judge is like, yes, I know what this is. Yes, it will help the witness with his anxiety. Maybe even enough to testify. Then by all means, please bring the poor child onto the light today. And Phoenix can't really object to this on the basis of it, what it is like on the base level of being the therapy session. Because 110%, then he would devalue any help he could get from this in the future. And also he has I believe Phoenix has used it in the past, has he? Maybe he hasn't, has he? I think he has. I think he has used the Mood Matrix in the past. So he understands that it does work. But I hope it never sounds like I'm saying that Phoenix is going to be would be underhanded enough to devalue something like that. Phoenix does actually want the truth, I believe. Of course, 110%. But I was just saying as a joke, if he did try to object to this, that means he'll never be able to use it again, you know? But I assume this will be all right with you, Mr. Wright? Why not? It's not like we all haven't been through this before. Exactly. What are you budding for, lady? This ain't the place for battlefield on the planet. This battlefield. What do you mean? What do you mean there's no place for on the battlefield? What are you talking about?
Objection!
Yeah, object to him. What do you mean? I beg to differ, Sarge. This G.I. Jane's always ready for... Is it actually because she's a woman? Sarge, I know you're going through a lot, but you gotta get that out of your head. And again, I know the Sarge is playing a stereotypical sergeant from a movie. But it's not nice. Not nice whatsoever. It's actually pretty not good to say that. And wait until you see what I've got in my arsenal. Analytical psychology. With it, I'm going to blow a big old hole in the armor you've built around your heart. Oh my god. First evidence now on analytical psychology. Where are these WMDs coming from? Well, if it's a battle you want, bring it on. You may have started this war, but I'm going to end it. Corpse woman Sykes. There you go. You're already a corpse woman? Wait. Is that an actual title for the army, corpse woman? Wouldn't it just be corporal? You got it, Sarge. Or is corpse woman something different entirely? I don't know. Time to seek out the agony buried deep in your heart. Brace yourself. Athena would actually be very helpful for you as well, Sarge. She's actually very good at this stuff. Let's see what we can find here. I stayed in my room with my drone that evening. I heard Dad and Papa arguing with each other, so that turned to shock and anger. Dad's got kicked out. I saw him still around outside. He's still shocked here as well. And angry. No, he's sad and shocked. Sorry, sad and shocked. Wait, he's sad and shocked. Is he sad because of the argument? Okay. I was in my room, so I didn't know Papa was dead until the next day. And then he's even more sad here, which makes sense that he would be more sad. Watson, is there any differences here? Everything seems pretty normal, right? Oh, he's more shocked here. He's not as shocked here, but he's more shocked here than he is shocked here. So I think we click on this. He's less shocked when... Oh. So I was trying to pinpoint it, but I guess I pressed the wrong button. So I'm looking for unexpected emotions and unnatural reactions, right? Right. Emotions and reactions that don't fit the content of the testimony. He's less shocked when he found the body of his dad for some reason. When you make one, make sure you point it out to me. Also, remember not to view his emotional reactions in isolation. Sometimes it's important to see how they change. Yes, 100%. She would have given us this hint if we didn't know for sure. Okay, I'll give it a try. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed, No, I did not. Wait. I did press that. Maybe I pressed something else. Maybe I pressed X at this. Oh no, I pressed Y and then tried to press X probably. Yeah, he's less shocked when he saw his dad dead than he was the day before, is what we're looking at. Okay, very good. That's strange. You acted with shock when you discovered your father's body. Yet you weren't nearly as shocked then when you saw Mr. Rebel. Normally, you'd expect the death of one's father to be much more impactful. I mean, that's the thing. Like, what you can assume then from that is that he wasn't as surprised to find his dad dead for some reason. Which means maybe he thought he died the night before and then argument, maybe heard a noise or something that that his dad died or something. But for some reason, he wasn't as shocked. Enemy fire, a direct hit. That is strange. I wonder what it could mean. When we know what he wasn't affected by his father's death and as he should have been. And I think I know why. Oh? Sarge, you weren't as shocked to see your father's body as see Mr. Rebel because you're scared of Mr. Rebel. You already seen his body. This to me makes sense. The second one. Because I assumed he'd already know about the dead body, so I'd pick this. Sarge, maybe the truth is you left your room that night, and that's when you saw it. Your father's body. I saw no such thing. Why would he try to cover this up, I wonder? Alright then. What did you see? Okay, that's a good bit of noise. Yeah. Look, Apollo, we lost some noise. So just as I suspected, he really did see something. Sarge, please tell us what you saw. Oh, but... You okay? I mean, again, it's a traumatic situation. It's really difficult. The moment I saw it, I couldn't bear it. That's totally understandable. Is there any way he can, like, tell Athena in private? Well, you can't do that in a court case, can't you not? Because it's his dad dying years after his mother dying as well. I couldn't stand to use yet another loved one. Am I missing something here? Is that why you weren't shocked when you found out your father was dead? Because you had already sensed that he was gone somehow? That's what we were thinking as well. He maybe thought that there was a fight or something or a sound? Maybe. Please, Sarge. What was it you saw on the night of your father's murder? I saw... Okay, he's like malfunctioning as well. So something he saw that night was... obviously it was traumatizing already to know his dad died, but something he saw that night made him this way. Or made him feel this way. I don't like where this is going. Jesus, man. No more, please. Yeah, he's emotionally distraught over this stuff. It's so difficult. Did he take widgets? A comm schedule told me the battlefield has no place for unauthorized equipment. See, this is crazy. This is the first time everyone's ever taken widget, and in this case, it was literally just because he didn't want to face whatever the truth was here, because it's clearly very traumatizing in some way. Widget! Apollo, I can't continue this session without him. Calm yourself, this indigent witness. I hereby order you to submit your therapy session. Submit you? Did he take the gavel? Oh my god. Look at me, I'm judge, jury, and executioner now. Oh my god. I know like this is supposed to be like funny in a way, but I do think there is like some sort of like really powerful writing technique here, way of writing this, that to avoid anything that's traumatizing, he's using the things that are like will push the case forward. Widget, the gavel, you know what I mean? I hereby convene the military tribunal. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, it's like very sad more than anything. Whoa, this has gone way too far. Bailiff, arrest that drone this instant. Can we talk to him somehow? Can we like... Oh god. Oh no. Are we even going to be able to do the rest of it? He's still firing at the bailiff. Is there anything we can do for this? Give Widget back, right? Yeah, he's just responding like by shooting. He can't even like comprehend the situation. He can't even deal with the situation whatsoever. It's a very bright white light. Finally got him back. Again, he shouldn't be taking this stuff off of Athena, but I generally think that what they're trying to do here is show a character trying his best to make sure the case doesn't go forward, and that's the gavel and widget, right? Because he has to then come face to face with the stuff that he doesn't want to come face to face with. Nice work. This witness is truly a handful. Oh, 2, 3, 4. Oh. See, the thing is, if it was any other trial and this was like a witness who was like clearly just like a bad person, I'd be so annoyed and we'd be so irritated. You know, we tried our best to like make sure they just like, you know, stayed quiet and did their thing. But in this case, this is clearly like, you know, the son of these two parents that died and his dad was just murdered. It's very difficult. Miss Sykes, what's the witness' current psychological state? Let's see. I love that Phoenix, like, obviously, like, is asking this. Like, most other prosecutors, and he's not a prosecutor here, but most other lawyers are up against would never ask this question because they don't really believe in this stuff that much or they don't really adhere to it that much. Let's see. He's emotionally all over the map. So his out of control emotions are in control of him? Does that mean we can calm him down if we can figure out the root cause? Yes. So let's see what we can find. Sarge, can you hear me? He's just not doing good. Is that you, Congresswoman Sachs? I'm here. Now, I want you to take a few deep breaths. Just try to relax. Try it with me. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. I mean, breathing techniques work, right? In and out. In, out. My friend who was like, I think she did like some stuff like with psychology and stuff like that as well. And I remember she used to say that like if you like focus on things in the room, do you guys know anything about that? I don't know what it is. I think it's like focus on something you can hear, see, and say. So it's like, I'm looking at TV right now. I can hear a buzzing from like the machine over here and all. You know what I mean? Like it's like I wonder if that actually works. And now, let your emotions take you where they will. Go on, just let it out. Okay? Oh, all forces attack! That's the least relaxing breathing exercise I've ever seen. I do think there's something to let it all out. You know what I mean? I'm a big believer in let it all out. I think if I've ever had sad days, I know it's like totally different than seeing your freaking mother and father die. But like I find that like if I ever just cry, you know, again, it happens, like, it doesn't happen all the time, and there's nothing wrong with crying all the time, by the way, but like when it does happen, if you ever like have like a sad day or something sad has happened in your life, sometimes letting it all out like will feel at least like, you know, like there's some sort of release. It's not going to make it everything better though, but did it work? Okay. That's what's still hanging around. We can only probe, we can't pinpoint. I heard more fighting, so I got worried about Papa. Here's the info update, okay? So I left my room, but suddenly, oh no, what did he see? I got dizzy and passed out. The drone passed, like, I guess like he's like saying he is the drone in this sense. I remember a flame lighting up the room. A flame, oh no. And Papa grinning with delight. That's when he must have been killed. If only I hadn't passed out. So this is just an assumption. So what do we probe? Do we probe maybe the fire? Because what else can we probe here? Like if we probe maybe the fire here? Like why was he? What was the fire? Can we take a look at the fire? What was it? Got it. Like what was this fire? Did you know? And also the same thing as well. Like this, that must have been like, is that why he passed out? Because that must have been very traumatizing. Because again, his mother died protecting him from a fire. Sarge, you were overcome with shock and fear when you saw those. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking just that. It's a traumatizing thing from his past. Was I? Yes, just 6 months ago, you and your mother 6 months ago were caught up in an arsonist blaze, so it's no wonder you were extremely scared of fire. Yes, that does make sense. And maybe, just maybe, Your subconscious fear of fire is what caused you to withdraw from the world. Yeah. I mean, stay away from danger, right? What do you mean, Corsoon Sachs? In the outside world, you are bound to come across all sorts of fire. Yeah. Like, this makes so much sense to me. Candles, cigarettes, heck, even the grill at the diner. And the thing is, like, I've seen that so many, it's not just when it comes to, like, trauma from fires. I was watching an interview with a guy yesterday who talked about how, like, he... and he's living so much. He says he's much happier now, but he lost his leg basically, and he's much happier now because it's not that he's happy that his leg is gone, but he's much happier now because he's gotten a new lease on life. You know, everyone who has something like that happen deserves to have a happy life and can have a happy life. But he said that one thing that reminded him of like his injury all the time was when every time he would sit down, he'd go outside and he'd sit on a chair and a bench and be like, "Oh, I'm reminded again." He'd jump into the back of a seat of a car and he'd be like, "I'm reminded again." And I think that's actually like so interesting to me, like that. It's even on a smaller level for a lot of us, right? Say if like you and a friend have an argument and it's a really bad one, and you go outside and you see two people eating ice cream together, and you think, "Man, I remember when I had ice cream with my friend Paul." You know, it makes so much sense that this would happen on this level, especially with a fire. You know, there's fire everywhere. Even if it's not often, just the idea that might make you seem, yeah, just the idea. This the fear grew bigger and bigger until you couldn't shut it out. I think you might be onto something. Candles, cigarettes, just thinking about them sends a chill down my spine. Wow, the things I take for granted, 110%. We take a lot of stuff for granted that other people like encounter every day that makes them like, feel worse, Now, see, I was afraid of the fire. Strange, I didn't even realize it myself. No, you often don't. Again, I'm not a psychologist, but I just know that this is stuff that I've heard can happen 110%. And you guys probably even know more about this. At that fire, Sarge, can you tell me what it was burning? Just stay calm and maybe something will come to you. Athena is fantastic. I think reasoning with them and also helping the person understanding why they feel this way is a really good idea too. If you can. Oh, I'm starting to remember. It was... Wait, what? It was that relic. That relic Papa was studying. It was on fire? What? How? The orb was on fire? It's still kind of fuzzy. But yes, the orb was burning right in front of Papa. And there in the flames was... Mama? Wait, what? Yeah, now I remember. I saw Mama appear... What do you mean? I saw Mama appear amid the dancing flames. How does that happen? Was it like a vision? I guess a vision? What? How does it even work? What? I know it's about his trauma, but how do we deal with that in court is what I'm thinking as well. I know it's probably insensitive to say that, but I think, since we're in a very serious situation here as well when it comes to that's a rebel being a murderer, how do you think about this even in a court setting? I saw the vision of my mother in the flames. How does that work? What's going on here? Maybe it was a memory from the fire that killed his mother. That's what I'm thinking. Was it a vision of some kind? He might be confusing with what really happened when his father died. So let me guess. More therapy? Yep. But this time, it seems there's an inconsistency in his statement, so I think we should be able to prove it with evidence. Okay, so they're saying present evidence then. Okay. I hope this inconsistency is the key to proving that the relic really is the Founder's orb. That's what's still hanging around after he got kicked out when I heard more fighting and got worried about Papa. So I'm guessing it's the new statement. I'm guessing it's the new statement we have to present something on, right? The one with, the relic was, yeah, this one here. What's the last statement? Oh, it's this one here. Oh, info updated? So now he was holding this, but I'm guessing it's this statement. But what do we do to present on this? The relic was on fire and I saw Mama's face. Like, there's, like, I don't know what we're trying to, like, there's an inconsistency. I saw Mama's face in the fire. I don't know an inconsistency with this because, again, like, you can't really say, like, oh, like, I present this on this and you didn't see your mother's face. So maybe it's not this one? Then Papa must have been killed if only I hadn't passed out. So he was killed while he was still... Is the inconsistency that he couldn't have been holding the orb if it was on fire? So whatever was on fire wasn't the orb. Right? Because that doesn't make any sense. If he's still holding the orb here, like, how, like, what, did he put out the fire? Can we say, like, what do we do? Do we present this on it? To say, like, oh, this is inconsistent. I didn't mean to do that, but it's okay. I believe Sarge's fear of fire is triggering a past memory. As a result, the memory of what we really saw is being suppressed. When he tries to remember the past memory, it's being overlaid onto a more recent one. Wow, the mind sure is a tricky beast. So it just has to find an inconsistency? Right. Once you find an inconsistent statement, present the evidence that proves it. The main issue here is when the doctor was murdered, was he really killed while Dats was there? Oh, wait, so wait a second. So Dats left here. Well, when Dats no longer left. There's no statement on Dats leaving anymore. After he got kicked out, and then they heard more fighting after that. So he did. So okay. So is the inconsistency? I still think it's that he couldn't be holding this if it's on fire. But how does that prove that Dats wasn't here then? If that's what I'm thinking. We know that Dats would have taken the relic as well, right? If he killed him, why wouldn't he take the relic? That's an inconsistency, right? It's not just the fire. It's actually like, why wouldn't Dats just take it? So I'm wondering what we present on that though then. Like, the only thing is the orb. Like, we'd say, hey, like, the orb is here or whatever, like, because everything else, like, we're not going to be... Yeah, like, just present the orb and say, hey, the orb is still here. Like, Dats would have had it. Objection. Right? Is that what we're getting at? Don't blame yourself, Sarge. After all, even if you hadn't passed out, the outcome would have been the same. Yeah, because remember they said, like, Dats said, like, because what I'm saying is Dats would have taken the orb, or the orb would have been on fire and he wouldn't have been able to carry it. And then they say he kicked the orb somewhere, and he also hid the orb. He hid the orb up in the mountains. How could he, like, why would Dats go up and hide the orb in the mountain? Doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? I'm talking about the time of death. Your father wasn't killed right after you left your room. What? Explain yourself for once, Private Justice. You said you saw your father burning the orb, right? But that night he went out to hide in the cave. Yes, exactly. Yes. So what you saw, Sarge, was something that happened before your father left to hide the orb. So no matter what, we have somehow proven that Dats the Rebel was there arguing with his dad before he even hid the orb. So he was still alive after this happened. Because someone had to hide the orb. Unless we're saying someone else hid it, but like it was him that hid the orb. So you see, you didn't pass out right before he was killed. You passed out right before he left for the cave to hide the orb and the runes within. So this proves that argument that he was having with Dats the Rebel in that moment happened well before he died. So even if I hadn't passed out, that's right. The outcome would have been the same, exactly the same. So that's actually like, I don't know if that's a relief. I don't know if you could say the word relief for this, but the idea that like, he knows that he couldn't have done anything no matter what, is probably a bit of a relief, right? I know it's not going to be so much, like it's still his dad that died, but it's probably something for him. That's because your father, Dr. Buff, was killed after he returned from the ruins. And therefore, Sarge, there's no need for you to blame yourself. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, absolutely beautiful stuff. Oh, I see. You okay? This must have been weighing so heavy on his mind. Like, to have to deal with the idea of not only his father going, but then also the fact that he thinks he could have done more. Private Justice, can you really say I bear no blame? Of course you don't bear any blame in this. That's so tough, man. Not only seeing your dad die, but thinking you had a fault in it. Why do you ask? Oh, is there something else he's gonna say? Because the truth is, if I hadn't engaged in my siege defense... Oh no, Papa would still be alive. Don't say that. That's very difficult to hear. Beautiful music, but this has to be so mentally exhausting. To first of all feel the need to recluse yourself already means there's something very traumatizing in the outside world. But then to, after you've been a recluse for a while, you probably find a little bit of peace with, you know, just doing your own thing. You know in the corner of your mind that some people, like, think differently of you and all this stuff. And then you think that the thing that you did to protect yourself ended up killing your father. Like, that would wreck me. That would wreck me. Sarge. Paul was nothing more than for me to lead the happy, healthy life. That's why he quit his job and moved us out, away from the big city. But even then, he didn't have the courage to set foot outside the world. And in the end, I failed to make Papa's wish come true. Please, can we just, like, make sure that this person is protected afterwards? That they have the proper help and home to go to. This is so heartbreaking. This is so heartbreaking. So difficult. Sarge. If you want to make your father's wish come true, if that's what you really want, then just say it's too late. Oh, why don't you take the first step now? My first step? Athena's so right. And again, this is why Athena's so smart and so bright and all this stuff. Like, the fact that she, like, thought of that right away. It's not over. Just because he's gone doesn't mean you can't take that first step. That's right. You can cast off your regret. You can stop standing still and start moving forward. You have the power within you. This is gonna make me bawl, man. I know from experience. I know what it's like to feel like you do. But only you can decide to take that first step. And seeing Athena's smile would motivate me like crazy as well. How do you feel, Sarge? If you don't change your tactics now, Sarge, the victory you seek in the war you're waging will always lie beyond your grasp. And I love the way they're approaching this, because I think that Apollo is still relating to the idea of his conversation, the way he speaks. He's not trying to look down on it. He's trying to look at this from a perspective of kind of like, I'm on your wavelength. Whereas with Athena, she's approaching it from a very, like, sensitive and psychological manner in a way too. And also trying to make him realize that he has support and still the ability to kind of, like, to take control of his own life again. I think they've done it in a really fantastic way. What's the response? I think I understand now. Do you understand? I've made up my mind. As of this moment, I will suspend my siege defense. That's huge. We were just talking about steps, but that's massive. That's so massive. This is them. This is a massive step. This is huge. Oh, they're a girl. Huh? Your hair is really lovely. It's really, really nice. I love the helmet as well. It actually looks really cool. It looks really cool. Sergeant Buff, reporting for duty. I adore your hair. And I love your hat. Honestly, I do. This is a huge step, Sergeant Buff. This is a massive step. And honestly, a lot of people would say the first step you could take is like stepping out of into your backyard, or stepping out into the kitchen, or opening the kitchen window and then like, you know, kind of like sitting there for a bit and you know, like little tiny steps. Or I think an actual, again, I could be wrong, but I only seen it in a TV show, but like taking 10 steps and taking more steps every single day and counting your steps away from your home and stuff, I guess, as well. But look what you did. Fantastic stuff. She looks like she has so much like personality, doesn't she? She looks like she's like, and we already know she does. She looks chock full of personality. What? What's happening? I thought you were a guy. I honestly, like, I always default sometimes to guy as well sometimes. So like, that's my bad as well. But like, I'm not too surprised it's a girl. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's a girl. Okay. You know? But then again, I feel like, you know, we like, it's, if Apollo also kind of like thought it was a guy, then I definitely I think we even mentioned it was Sun before as well, right? We probably said Sun, and we probably saw this stuff too. Yeah. I think it's more of a situation of just like, we probably assumed Sun more than anything. So I'm not like surprised that Apollo was shocked, because again, like, I'm not surprised, like, you know, like, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, like, I knew it from the start. It's more of a thing of just like, okay, now that we know, it's like, okay, you know, now we know, and it still fits, you know. You're definitely not the gruff drill sergeant I envisioned. Well, my mom was in the Russian army. Oh, really? Okay, that's actually like a tough thing. I was just in shock, but it certainly explained a few things when I found out too. Explained what? May I introduce you to Miss Army Buff? Miss Army Buff is a great name, age 12. She's adorable. She's absolutely adorable. Yeah, I think I assumed guy too, just I think for the language we were using for this whole thing. Yeah. She's actually really adorable. She's absolutely adorable. And again, it's one of those things where like, she does have the vibe of like even the face she's making, like she is like serious about this army stuff still. Look at this. She's very serious. No way. Careful, soldier. Don't forget I could blow you away at any moment's notice. She's just too cute. She is. So, have you always been in a wheelchair, Sarge? Negative. Only since I was injured. Oh, so didn't they say that, like, yeah, when her mother was protecting her? Your voice sounds awfully different from before. Oh, she even has, like, the... Oh, my God, she's adorable. Oh, my God, she's absolutely adorable. My drawing features a voice modulation device. I love that the hat is almost too big for her head. That's so sweet. Protect her at all costs, I'm telling you. It's just one of my army's many technological marvels. Well, you fooled me. I thought some 20-something military fanatic was at the controls. I wasn't sure. I thought for a bit maybe it could have been like an adult. I thought for a bit it could have been a kid. But yeah, I 100% also, like, I think because the language we were using throughout the whole case, I thought, you know, guy as well. But that's just, I think, what they probably wanted you to think. But now we know it's an adorable 12-year-old gal. If it's all the same to you, troops, I'd like to continue my testimony. Why is she so adorable? Why is she, and it's even the outfit, she has the star and like she has the elbow pads as well. I just remembered something. And it's as crisp and clear as a trumpet roll call. What did you remember? It wasn't my mother who appeared in the burning orb. It wasn't. It was some lady Pop had shown me a picture of a long time ago. Do you have the picture? He said it was... the Holy Mother. The founder of Kernism. That's huge. That's massive. She appeared right there. Right in the burning orb. Huh? What did you say? I love that everyone has a run-in with Kernism in some way. I mean, it doesn't make it any less crazy, but you know, I'm not gonna doubt her whatsoever in this situation. I'm sorry, she's so adorable. She's so cute. Look at the angry face. Bye-bye. You did fantastic, by the way. Army, you did fantastic. That's a huge step. It's a massive step. It really is. The Holy Mother Kernism was in the Burning Orb? What does it even mean? I have a bad feeling about this. Phoenix. Could it be... Could this explain what Sarge meant by the Holy Mother appearing in the Burning Orb? What? So this is about the orb too. Yeah, offer thy prayers, fervent as fire, only then should the mother return. Is that what it's saying here? Because there's nothing else we have here other than that stuff that can explain that. Just the actual research notes about the actual orb itself and the containing Founder's Orb. You can present the Founder's Orb, but that doesn't explain anything. The only thing that explains it is, like, I guess that there. Yeah. There we go. Dr. Buff's research notes? What do they have to do with this? It's the third line there. Offer thy prayers fervent as fire. Only then shall the mother return. Look at this burning orb appearance of the founder. This part points to both. This here?
Take that!
Yep. There's a legend about the orb involving a mysterious riddle, and this song in turn is said to contain the key to solving it. If the legend is true, then I believe the answer lies in this part of the song. Offer thy prayers as fervent as fire, only then shall the Holy Mother return. Will anyone see where I'm going with this? Prayer as fervent as fire. Ah! You're supposed to set the... So that's the actual method to making the Holy Mother's appearance appear? But that means that this is 100% the Founder's Orb then, right? Well, I guess people in Crane could also make something like that too, but... The whole stanza seems to suggest that the Founder will appear if the orb is set on fire. Wait, so the Doctor, he... Yes, Athena. He had solved the ancient riddle of the Founder's Orb. Oh my. I think this helps us prove that it was the Founder's Orb, right? I think if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm wrong. Papa's a great archaeologist. Army buff here, their wheelchair actually seems like plated with like green kind of like army colors, and I wonder if that was something they did specially for it as well, which is really cool. So I believe in him, and I want to believe he achieved his long-time dream of solving that riddle before he died. I want to believe it too, just for you. I need every single person to make sure that this gal has a great life after all of this. I swear to freaking God. She's been through so much, and look what she did for this trial as well. The steps that she took for this. Well, we won't know for sure until we try it for ourselves. Yes, do it, Private Justice, please. Are you still calling us Private Justice? I want to see what Papa was searching for with my own eyes.
Objection!
Phoenix, the plaintiff must object to this?
Objection!
Phoenix, no. The plaintiff will stand down and be quiet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Apollo.
Objection!
Oh, back and forth. You don't have the right to set a precious relic like that on fire. Phoenix. Again, I know what Phoenix is doing, by the way. This is stuff we do. You do this as Phoenix. You bluff. You try to find any way out of the situation you can. We've done this 1,000,001 times. So it's not like I can look down at Phoenix for doing this. We've done this before.
Objection!
I love the back and forth. I always love the back and forth. Oh, but I do. All I needed was Sarge's permission. Since we still don't know if this treasure is the Founder's Orb or the crystal of Amy Faye, any ownership rights Doctor had now belong to his... Apollo, that's so smart. It goes to your next of kin. Therefore, you have absolutely no right to stop us. Oh my God. So the back and forth was won by Apollo. Very well. Mr. Justice, I never thought I'd be saying this, but you may burn the evidence. All right, here we go. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen here now. Oh my god, animation. Did you need to put some like petrol on it? Athena's so curious about what's about to happen as well. Look. Apollo, inside the orb, is it happening? Oh, look at it. There's something there. Oh, it like melts, like it's like wax or something? Wait, that's her face though. That's the Holy Mother's face. And they're playing the music when Rafa does her dance. What the hell? Her garb leaves no room for doubt. It's the founder herself, but we're seeing her face. Face and all, yeah. Oh dear Lord. Yeah, 100%. I don't understand. The greatest of taboos in Quranism is a depiction of the founder's face. Yet here it is, hidden within this orb. That's a first. We have not seen her face depicted anywhere. Founder's orb updating the court record. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but as you can see, the issue is crystal clear. This figure is the Holy Mother's founder, the Holy Mother, the founder of Quranism. Could Phoenix argue that since the face is actually depicted, then no one from Qur'an would actually make that? Could he argue that? Because that's what I might argue. I'm not saying it's right, but that's what I would argue. But yeah, this is a huge win because at least it proves like why it can't be the how could it be the family heirloom now? Like what, you had a family heirloom with the Holy Mother inside of it, and you didn't even know that you could light it up. If you were giving someone a gift, wouldn't you tell them how to use it? Wouldn't you say, "Hey, you light this on fire"? And based on that, this must be none other than the Founder's Orb. Does it feel good, Apollo? Because it feels good to finally like be able to do this as well, because we got this turned on us last time.
Objection!
Oh. Be that as may, Mr. Rebel still may have killed the Doctor, so he's saying it becomes null and void. If so, render the orb transfer agreement null and void. We have no proof he killed the Doctor. We have no proof he killed the Doctor, and this is not a murder case, Phoenix. You should know that better than anyone. Mr. Phoenix Wright, Mr. Handsome Man. Don't play dumb, Mr. Wright. The truth of the matter has already been proven. Don't play dumb. I love Apollo's confidence. I love his confidence. Dr. Buff wasn't killed right after Sarge saw Mr. Rebel. It happened after the Doctor came back from hiding in the orb. Like, again, it's one of those things where, like, I'm glad Apollo, instead of being like, oh, Phoenix, actually, he goes, don't play dumb. Right? To me, that is fantastic. Again, I'm not saying that Phoenix is playing dumb, but I'm saying it's good that he has, like, a confidence to push back against this. And you have no proof that Mr. Rebel was still around at the time. Oh my god, this is the second time we have Phoenix like this. Your claim to the Defiant Dragons were behind the crime doesn't hold water. Apollo, you're doing so good. And that means the orb transfer agreement is still perfectly valid. Admit it, Mr. Wright. I just burned your whole case to the freaking ground. I think Phoenix could probably come back, right? He definitely could, but it feels good to have Apollo be able to push back against Phoenix in this way. Not because it's Phoenix, because we don't like Phoenix, but because like he deserves to get a win here. This is against his mentor. He has to prove himself as well. Even though Phoenix already has full confidence in himself in Apollo, it still feels good. What's he gonna push back with? Oh no! And Addison's back up at the stand. Bring back Army Buff. I prefer Army Buff. I actually won. The fact that he said this now means that he's gonna push back with something. You know what I mean? Oh? Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Respond? No way. No way. I didn't think so. Wait, did we just win? Did we actually beat the Turnabout Terror? You're amazing, Apollo. Don't just stand there, Wright. Do something. Well, I don't think there's anything digging out. Oh my freaking god. And that's the Phoenix we know, by the way, you know what I mean? Less serious and more like, what do I do? Because this is us sometimes playing as Phoenix. Mr. Addison Whipperson, I think it's time for your concession speech. I have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the Founder's Orb. The facts don't lie, but obviously you do. How's that for a campaign slogan? Why, you contemptuous peasant? I think this is a good time to wrap up this trial. Do we think it's actually going to end? I don't think it's going to end. I can't. We beat Phoenix like this? We backed him to a corner this hard? If both parties have no further objections, I will render my verdict. No objections here, Your Honor. No. Hold it? Paul Addison, you can't do this. The crystal is mine. I'll lose the election if I lose that crystal. I'm sorry, but there's really nothing more I can do. And again, Phoenix I think is great that he's accepting defeat here as well. Like, he's kind of like, yeah, I don't know what else I can do here. Instead of just like leading this trial into something where he can't push it any further. Unless Addison has something. You haven't forgotten about a little chat. Have you? A chat? What chat? What's going on here?
Objection!
No way. Your Honor, I object to the... What's happening? What chat? I object to the defense's last claim? What chat? I don't believe they've truly proven that the relic is indeed the Founder's orb. What? Phoenix, what's happening?
Objection!
Please object back. Mr. Wright, I don't think I could... Even you could bluff your way out of this one. What possible argument could you have to claim this isn't the Founder's orb? About that. Oh, of course. He had to rack his brain. But what chat did they have? Do you think in some way he has something on Phoenix? Do you think he knows something or he has something hanging over his head? And that's why he took this trial? He can't possibly have hit it on something. I mean, he racked his brain. The defense assertion is incomplete. And this is why. Their claim that this relic is the Founder's orb is based on a legend. And that legend claims that the Founders will return when the riddle is solved at last. Right. And that's what happened. The Founder was revealed for all to see. But Mr. Justice, what about the rest of the legend? Huh? According to the legend, once the Founder returned, she would bestow spiritual power onto the person who solved the riddle. You're kidding, right? Well, Mr. Justice, do you feel a great spiritual power coursing through your veins? Again, I understand here with this stuff here. It's improbable to say when the dragon and talk about a battle and all this stuff and the butterfly embraced the Matama. For me personally, when you say offer thy fervent, well, this is just a way to open up the box. So that is true. Wait, that is true though. Yeah, all this is true. That's how you open the box. But I get what Phoenix is saying is if we use the third line here, then the fourth line has to be true too. But I would argue back that the third line is just a way to make this cheap trick happen. It's a trick for this whole orb. It's not supposed to be like based on an actual legend. Or it's based on a legend, but it's not supposed to be like magic. But receiving spiritual powers and stuff, it's just all mystic mumbo jumbo, right? Apollo. I guess, wait. Have you not seen? Do you not? He must have seen a trial with, I guess he might not have. Yeah, he might not have. I don't think he's seen a trial with Mia or Maya or Pearls. We've done a trial with, no. I'm trying to think. Maybe not. Maybe so, but you're the one basing your claim on said legend, and that's the argument, and it's not a bad argument. If you're the one who's saying the legend is what's true, but I would say, hey, I'm actually just using this to show that there's like a methodology to opening this orb. It's like the same way that like it's like basing. I don't know how to explain this. What I'm trying to say, it doesn't mean it's related exactly to all the legend. We can just say it's related to one part of the legend. But what Phoenix is arguing is that okay, why would they use just one part of the legend and not every part of the legend? To me, it's just like the same thing with like a parlor trick. It's like it's based on a riddle from an old legend, but that doesn't mean it has all its power coursing through it, you know what I mean? And what we saw here does not fully fulfill it, does it? No, but consequently, you cannot rightfully claim this is the Founder's orb. Oh boy. Again, I think that it's a smart way of coming back against this, but I genuinely think that it's like actually like I I don't know, it's not as airtight, but it creates like a bit of little bit of doubt that will keep this trial going, which again, we have done that in the past 1,000,001 times. We have done it so many times. But it's very clear that Phoenix is on, like they had a chat with him over something. So Paul Addison had a chat with him about something, and that made him try to think of another way to fight back. What's gone into him? Why is Mr. Wright doing this? It's a very pushy argument. It's a very out of nowhere argument. To me, it's an up in the clouds argument. As I said, it's very flimsy in some cases, and it doesn't hold up that well. We have done that before, but I think what Apollo's saying now is that like this seems like just out of nowhere. Like he already accepted defeat, which I think is totally true. What Apollo's saying as well is like, while I think that it's actually a great way of creating like a tiny bit of doubt in our argument, Apollo here is like, saying, why is Mr. Wright doing this? Like he accepted defeat, and then as soon as Addison said something, he racked his brain to find something. It would appear that Mr. Wright has lost a few of his marbles. That couldn't be further from the truth, Your Honor. In any case, I believe this is a good time for a recess. Sides will have 20 minutes to prepare. Yeah, and I think what the judge is saying is not wrong either, because using the idea that the whole, again, as I said, Apollo can push back, and I think, I don't think, again, this is my whole explanation of like what I feel about this whole pushback. I don't think Phoenix's pushback is great. I think it's good at creating like, it's a good way of creating like a little tiny bit of doubt, right? Which is something we've done 1,000,001 times over. But I think that it's so flimsy because it's like, we put fire to this orb and it worked. That shows that the thing that we thought about originally in the message, in this research notes, came true. This is a fact. Offer thy prayers fervent as fire, and then the Holy Mother returns. So I genuinely think that we could push back on this. I think it's right for Apollo to be like, why is he doing this? This is such like a silly argument in a way. But again, I feel like we've done this in the past where we've tried to just like create any type of doubt. But the reason Phoenix is doing this is for some reason he had a chat with Paul Addison, and it made him think of something. He was ready to give up. It's a very weird situation. My argument back would have been, originally for Phoenix, is what I said earlier, is like, I would have said like, well, they wouldn't usually depict the mother's face, so how could this be a Kurani's item? But he's gone back and said, then where's the rest of the thing? But again, as the judge said, it seems like he's gone crazy because he's basically telling us that unless Phoenix gets superpowers, this can't hold weight, which again is why it's kind of flimsy, But he's trying to create any bit of doubt, which is what we've done before, but he's doing it clearly for some reason for Addison. I'm going to go around in circles if I keep saying this, guys. It's crazy to me. It's a lot of stuff happening here. But I think in this crazy situation, the judge is actually very smart to do a recess. I asked that all arguments be ready by then. And Mr. Wright, you do well to wash up and find your missing marbles by then too. I think the judge is not wrong in saying this, because while I think that Phoenix was 100% correct to find any type of opening, right, for his trial, it's still very, like, off the wall. He's basically saying that Apollo needs to have powers flowing through him for this to track. And he knows it too. Like, he knows that he's just throwing something out there, Oh, it's not even to be continued. Okay. May 17th. District Court. Defendant lobby. Number 3. Mr. Wright sure is acting funny. There's something with him and Addison. I think Addison has like something on him or something. He has something. It's very weird. I mean, he's famous for going out on a limb, but that's what I was saying as well. He is famous for this. We've done this before. But he's basically saying you have to have superpowers right now. It's either a bluff or a Hail Mary. Either way, it doesn't make much sense. You okay, Trucy? Maybe there's something we're missing here. I do think 100% there's something we're missing here, Trucy, 100%. Although he seemed perfectly normal when we spoke earlier. So for her, he's acting normal on Trucy, which again, he didn't seem too strange, you know? But it's not about that really, isn't it? It could be anything really. Apollo, I have a bad feeling about this. I think it's Addison clearly has something over him or something. Because he said, remember our little chat. I'm going to check up on him. Fair enough. What's going on with you, Mr. Wright? And I love as well the way they're doing this. They have worry for Phoenix. It's not the situation where they're like, oh, F Phoenix, what the hell, man? Why would he do that? Instead, it's like, what's happening, man? We're really worried about him. Because again, they care about him. They care about him so much. Of course they do. That there is like a really like... Oh, didn't mean to click that. Sorry. Oh, autoplay. So it is like she's so adorable. There's like a really terrifying thing about it, and a really worrying thing. And I love that they showcase it with the characters. They're not just like being like, oh, like Phoenix, what the hell? You know, they're more worried than they are angry. Oh, Sarge, I forgot to mention something. On the night of the Papa's murder, a strange thing happened. Oh, but why are you only telling me about this now? Well, I didn't say anything before because I thought Papa's death was an accident. But now that we know otherwise, I figured it might be important. Sure? There's still more to this case, so it's going to be a lot more. When I left my room, I lost consciousness. I passed out here. That's right above the coffee bar. Well, oh my gosh, she does the kid. But when I came to, someone was pushing my wheelchair. What? I was so scared I beat a hasty retreat, as fast as my wheels could take me. You know who it was? No, it was pitch black. Plus, I fled to my room so fast I didn't even have a chance to turn on the lights. If that wasn't her dad, that's terrifying. That's so scary. You know, can you imagine like waking up and someone carrying you or something? It'd be so scary. Maybe it was your father. That's what I was thinking, but no, he would have said something to me. Besides, I'd have known if it was him. So then, it could have been your father's real killer? My thoughts exactly. But you didn't report this to the police? It didn't even occur to me. Also, you're talking about a recluse here who, up to like an hour ago, never left the room. I imagine that them reporting stuff to the police sounds terrifying. You know what I mean? It's okay. You were obviously still upset, so don't beat yourself over. Of course, 100%. You've already made such a massive step for yourself. 100%. Apollo, this could be really important information. I think the act of pushing Sarge's wheelchair could be part of some bigger scheme. It's hard to see why else the killer would have done such a thing. Guess I should take her statement down as evidence. There we go. Yeah, that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. Oh, welcome back, Apollo. Oh, sorry, welcome back, Athena. How's she doing? Oh, she does not look good. What's with the long face? How to go, Mr. Wright? What should I... Athena? Oh, sorry. Zoned out there for a sec. Recess is almost over. Let's go. So she noticed something as well. She noticed something for sure as well. What was that all about? I actually think we'll end the episode here, guys. This is a lot, and I feel like it's something I'm going to have to regroup for as well, because I know we're about to go into some really crazy stuff here. Let's actually... Alright, court is once again back in session. Yeah, I like to look at the characters when this is happening, at least. You know what I mean? There's something to, you know... It's nice to have it in a black screen when we're talking about all this stuff. This... was kind of like really a back and forth trial between Apollo and Phoenix. And the crux of Phoenix's whole argument was that's a rebel who might have killed Dr. Buff. And the reason he argued this was that if this happened, that means that the orb will return to Addison, because then it nulls the agreement that he owns this. But that fell apart, obviously, when we realized that the orb had this property to it that once like you put fire to it, it would become something completely different. And it would show the mother's face. This was a pretty airtight thing for me, only because yes, you could argue that someone could still have like a tourism thing with this as well, but no one's going to make a tourist item that has their face, the Holy Mother's face on it. Another thing is, if you're going to give a gift to a family as a present to the Addisons, to Wimpersons, you're probably going to tell them how the freaking present works. If you put a flame to it, it does a really cool thing. And they didn't know this. We base this upon a prophecy, basically. And Phoenix basically gave in. He said, this is like pretty accurate. Like it's in the research notes. It's clear that like, Army saw this as well, but there's something there. Addison said, remember our chat, and Phoenix racked his brain. And as we said, we've done, as Athena said as well, we've done it a million times where we've tried to find like the smallest little opening. And this time Phoenix was able to get himself a recess by claiming that if this whole prophecy is supposed to be true, then why didn't Apollo get like a surge of power? It's flimsy. It doesn't work too well. But it got him an opening. It made the judge call for a recess, which lets him regroup. But for some reason, Phoenix was ready to give in until Addison said, remember our chat, which means there's something about Phoenix here. And would make sense why he would be defending him then if there is something that he knows. Athena clearly saw him in a bad way too and said there's something wrong with him. So we know Phoenix is not doing too good in that sense. Trucy said he was fine this morning, but now he's not doing too good. And I do, as I said, I love the way the game is actually treating this as a very serious situation. Instead of the characters being like, oh, F Phoenix, what the hell, Phoenix? They might do that later if they get frustrated, but right now they're worried. They're terrified. What could be happening with Phoenix? Why is he acting this way? And I think it's actually like it's really well written. There's a whole situation now where we have to wonder, is this a trial where we're trying to get this ball back for Dirk and trying not to make That's a Rebel get up for murder again? Or is it going to be a trial where we try to like bring Phoenix back to our side and trying to see like what's wrong with Phoenix too? It could be both, honestly, when it comes to this stuff. We also got the reveal of Army Buff, which again, I thought it was a boy because I think the language used for the whole time was a boy. But when I saw them, all I could think was, instead of like, oh, it's a girl, it's like, oh my God, they're adorable. They're really adorable. And that's a huge step. And again, I think it's really beautiful how they took it seriously in this game, rather than doing this thing where like they made a how do I say it? Like they really like had Apollo and Athena chat with this gal in a very serious manner rather than downplaying her feelings and talking about how you need to take the next step, and even like leveling with them in their own language, the language they like to use as well. And I really feel like they really handled this very well. Now I expected maybe like, a small step, but this gal went, I am bursting out the door, because the worry that she had was that she was gonna upset her father if she never got to not like leave her room before he died. But Athena rightly said he would be so proud of you and happy that you did this after your, obviously she didn't say proud, but like he would be proud of you after like the fact as well, because she was so worried that her being a recluse killed her dad. Like, how horrifying is that you have to remember that for the rest of your life? Maybe if I wasn't a recluse, I could have helped my dad out. And I'm glad she no longer thinks that. And I'm glad she's so enthusiastic about helping the trial now as well. It was a great reveal, and she's again, as I said, she's adorable. She's absolutely adorable. I love the design. I love the helmet being too big for the head as well. And her name's Army Buff, which means she is like an army buff. She knows all this stuff about the army and stuff like that too.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
But yeah, really like sad but powerful story when it came to the stuff with Army Buff, and then also like the stuff with seeing your dad, and also really terrifying thing about someone wheeling her wheelchair away. All that stuff is so scary. I think that what we're coming into the trial now is, yes, it's a great thing we have Army Buff like having more confidence and being able to show her face and all this stuff too, and being able to leave her room. Fantastic. I'm so proud of her. I really am. But I'm just worried about Phoenix. I'm super worried about Phoenix. And I think the game is intentionally obviously wants you to be worried about Phoenix because like Apollo and Athena and Trucy are worried about Phoenix. And what could the reason being and why he's even defending Addison in the first place could be something to do with what Addison knows, or maybe something over his head. Maybe he's going to do something. Who knows? He's rich and he's powerful, so it could be anything. But guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thanks so much for supporting this series as always. It really means the world to me having you guys along for this journey. And I will say thank you so much to my patrons at the highest tier of my channel. If you want to get these videos early, by the way, you can get them early on Patreon or YouTube membership for the lowest tier possible. And you can definitely check that out as well. And I would definitely appreciate it if you want to and if you can. Thank you so much to Ty Fur 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Ulysses Felix, Yule, Radish, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Casparian, Jared Beanham, Neo Sharite, and at the highest tier on my YouTube, Rogan7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.